Ali, John, and Murtaz were the best of friends. They lived in a small village nestled near a forest. The friends loved to play together. Most of all, they loved adventures. One sunny afternoon, the friends decided to explore the forest. They had never been deep into the woods before. Ali skipped ahead, excited to see what they might find. John followed closely behind, his eyes wide with wonder. Murtaz, the bravest of the three, brought up the rear. As they walked, they giggled and pointed at the squirrels scampering up the trees. They listened to the birds singing sweetly in the branches. Everything felt new and exciting. What would they discover in the heart of the forest? The friends followed a winding path deeper and deeper into the forest. The sunlight grew dimmer as the trees grew thicker. Soon they came to a fork in the path. One path went left and the other went right. "Which way should we go?" asked John, looking from one path to the other. "I don't know," said Ali. "Let's close our eyes and choose." Murtaz laughed. "That's silly, Ali. Let's try this path." He pointed to the path on the right. It looked narrow and less traveled. Maybe it would lead to an adventure. Holding hands, the friends cautiously walked down the path. The trees seemed to lean closer, their branches forming a leafy archway overhead. Strange and beautiful flowers bloomed by the path, their petals painted in colors they had never seen before. This path was definitely more exciting. Suddenly, the trees parted, and the friends gasped in amazement. Before them lay the most beautiful garden they had ever seen. Sparkling waterfalls cascaded down mossy rocks. Flowers of every imaginable color bloomed in vibrant profusion. The air buzzed with the sound of hummingbirds and glittered with the wings of iridescent butterflies. In the center of the garden, a tiny figure with shimmering wings hovered above a sunflower. She had long, flowing hair, as green as the grass, and wore a dress made of flower petals. "Welcome," the fairy said, her voice like the tinkling of bells. "I am Luna, the guardian of this garden." The friends were speechless. They had never seen a real fairy before. Luna was even more beautiful than they could have imagined. Her eyes sparkled with kindness and magic. "What are you doing in my garden?" Luna asked gently. Ali, John, and Murtaz looked at each other. They didn't know what to say. Finally, Ali found his voice. "We were exploring the forest," he explained, "and we found this path." "We didn't know it would lead to your garden," Luna smiled. "It's all right," she said. "This garden is hidden for a reason, but something terrible has happened. A mischievous imp has stolen the magical crystal that protects this garden. Now the garden is in danger of fading away." The friends were shocked. They had never encountered an imp before, but they knew they were mischievous creatures. Stealing a magical crystal was certainly a naughty thing to do. "We have to help!" exclaimed John, his eyes wide with concern. Murtaz nodded in agreement. "But how can we find the imp and get the crystal back?" Luna looked thoughtful. "The imp lives in the Whispering Woods, beyond the Misty Mountains," she said. "It will be a dangerous journey, but I believe you are brave enough to undertake it." Luna gave each of the children a magical object. Ali received a compass that always pointed towards truth. John received a cloak that could make him invisible. Murtaz received a sword made of moonlight, sharper than any blade. "These gifts will help you on your quest," Luna said. "Be brave, be kind, and always trust in each other." Section 6. The Cave of Riddles. With Luna's guidance, the friends set off on their quest. They journeyed through the Whispering Woods, where the wind whispered secrets and the trees seemed to watch their every move. They climbed the misty mountains, their peaks shrouded in swirling clouds. Finally, they arrived at the entrance to a dark and foreboding cave. This must be where the imp was hiding. But the cave was guarded by a giant spider, its 8 eyes glowing menacingly in the darkness. "Halt!" boomed the spider, its voice echoing through the cave. "Only those who answer my riddles may pass." The friends exchanged nervous glances. They had never been very good at riddles. Could they outsmart the spider and enter the cave? Section 7. Outsmarting the Imp. The spider posed 3 riddles, each one trickier than the last. But Ali, John, and Murtaz worked together, using their wits and courage to solve them. Ali's compass helped them determine the truth behind the spider's tricky words. John's cloak allowed them to sneak past the spider when it wasn't looking. And finally, Murtaz's sword, gleaming brightly, scared the spider back into its lair. Inside the cave, they found the imp, a small, shadowy creature with glowing red eyes. The imp was clutching the magical crystal, its surface now dull and lifeless. The friends knew they had to get the crystal back. Thinking quickly, John used his cloak to become invisible. He snuck up on the imp while it wasn't looking and snatched the crystal. The imp, confused and angry, chased after the now visible John. "Distract him, John!" shouted Murtaz. He and Ali stood ready to help their friend. Section 8. Restoring the Garden. John, with the imp hot on his heels, ran out of the cave. He tossed the crystal to Ali, who caught it with a gasp. The imp, seeing the crystal in Ali's hands, screeched in fury. But before the imp could reach Ali, Murtaz jumped in front of his friend. He held up his sword, its moonlit blade shining brightly. The light seemed to weaken the imp, causing it to shrink back in fear. With the imp defeated, the friends returned to Luna's garden. As soon as the crystal was back in its rightful place, it began to glow. The garden, which had started to wilt, came back to life. Flowers bloomed again, their colors vibrant and alive. The waterfalls sparkled, and the air filled with the joyful songs of birds. Luna, overjoyed, showered the friends with flower petals. "You were so brave," she exclaimed. "You saved my garden and all who live here." Section 9. Heroes of the Village. Luna, forever grateful, used her magic to send the children back to the edge of the forest. They returned to the village, tired but happy, their hearts bursting with stories of their adventure. The villagers, who had been worried sick, welcomed them back as heroes. They listened with wide eyes and open mouths as Ali, John, and Murtaz recounted their tale of bravery, friendship, and magic. From that day forward, Ali, John, and Murtaz knew that no matter what challenges they faced, their friendship could overcome anything. And sometimes, if they listened closely at night, they could almost hear Luna's tinkling laughter carried on the wind, a reminder of the magical adventure they shared and the importance of courage, kindness, and teamwork.